cardio has been beaten this morning. Simply for the fact now I can walk up the stairs without like being like out of breath. But my house is fucking freezing. Now this is the thing, is when I go to bed, obviously I'll have my heating on. But again, it's a thing of when I wake up and my body temperature's nice and cooled down and I'm a bit more chilled. I'm fucking freezing. And the thing at this time of year in the UK, whilst I know it may not look very bright and sunny, actually is at the moment, which is a fucking win. But in the mornings it is bloody freezing. It is absolutely bloody freezing. So this morning I literally showed up to the gym looking like the Michelin man with my coat zipped to like here, like, yeah. I was like, trust me, the bulk's not going that well, okay? It's just a puffer coat. As you know, same breakfast going in every single morning. 2 eggs, 4 bacon medallions, sorry, and 2 bagels. So we're gonna quickly grab those eggs now. See if I can crack them with one hand on the camera. Are you supposed to do this during prep? Let's have a little look. You ready for this? Fuck, I've already cracked it. There's one. There's 2. We'll pretend like there's not like 20 eggshells in the pan right now. Oh my god. Honestly, at this point, my morning routine is literally, I'm just like, I even can't be arsed eating. I'm just like, give me my fucking coffee because I'm getting sick at latte art. Whoa, I'm not getting sick at holding the camera. I'm getting sick at latte art. Let me pull up this photo. I'm gonna pull up this photo of what I did yesterday because it was crazy. It was crazy. Like, Cafe Nero is currently trembling in its boots. Well, that was the one I made then, which I thought was a nice little dot. But the one I made myself, there you go. Look at that bad boy. Cafe Nero, hiya boy. I often also don't talk about what supplements I usually take on this channel. Now, usually I would take creatine, but to be honest, being really honest, I'm out of stock. I have been for the last few weeks and I just can't be asked to get some in. Real simple. Shit's expensive nowadays. I remember in college, mate, when I used to get like a good, like, I think it was a good kilo for like 15 quid. Now it's fucking like 250 grams for 15 quid. It's crazy. Pretty simple. I will run usually around 5 grams of omega-3s. I've only got 3 here because these were actually my last 3, so I'm actually running fucking low. So I'm gonna have to head over to Full Bore Sports, code Drew, you know the drill. And then we've got obviously our clenbuterol, which is here. Joking, it's vitamin D3 K2. I'll usually run about, what's it called? I think it's roughly around 5,000 IU per day at the moment. I think it's IU. It's not meg, it's IU. Of this, and then I usually stick around a gram of vitamin C in there, okay? Now, again, supplements are gonna come from food anyway, so again, you should kind of have that fulfilled within your diet, but realistically, it's quite person dependent. So if I notice my sleep's getting in the fucking bin, okay, I may look at introducing some ashwagandha before I go to bed, reduce a bit of stress, you know, reduce a bit of GABA, okay? What we're gonna do there as well, put a bit of magnesium glycinate in. There's fucking loads of stuff about magnesium glycinate being great for being a bit more parasympathetic, I believe. But again, it's very kind of circumstantial dependent. Like there's omega-3s, vitamin D, creatine, vitamin C. Those are ones I've run all year round, okay? And then when I need to, okay, fat loss phase, I may put in a little bit of yohimbine, okay? I wouldn't class whey protein as a supplement. I really don't, because it is just fucking cheese, bruv. And if you think whey protein is the enemy and causes anything, okay, I'm gonna have to disagree you politely there, okay? Because it is literally just condensed. I think it's just waste product of cheese. So, very interesting. We've got the Frank's Red Hot Wings. This is bringing me back to prep right now. Hella prep I use this, because it is very low in calorie. I do like a little hot sauce as a base on anything. It's very nice, so I'm gonna sit and eat this on my chopping board, as you can see from here. Why have I got a chopping board? Because quite frankly, it's just easier to eat off. Mint. Bro brought plates and then just didn't fucking eat them. I know, crazy. Let me eat these and then, oh, you're about to see a sick transition into a fucking sick latte art. check-ins are done for the morning. All the team smashing it as usual. Just got Strength and Shreds coming out, which is very exciting. If you don't follow me on Instagram, and you don't know what Strength and Shreds is, it's a 10-week transformation challenge. You can enter. It's at a discounted price because you don't get a custom program, but you still get a fucking sick choice of 1 of 5 programs, and I'll tailor it to the equipment in your gym. You get meal plans, weekly check-ins, all that jazz, and effectively, you get to lose a fuck ton of fat, gain some sick accountability, some sick muscle tissue, and if you get the best transformation, you get 250 quid as well. I know, mint. So if you're interested in that, just drop me a message, drop a comment on this fucking video, drop a like, okay? But check-ins all done. Gonna do some education now. Yesterday was education topic number 1, which currently at the moment is, it's like physiology. So I'm learning all the stuff about the bony landmarks, like every single muscle you could think of. I'm trying to learn, okay? So for example, yesterday I learned that doing this and that, there's 11 single muscles which do that. There's a single muscle, right, called your extensor digiti minimi, which just does that. How interesting is that? But effectively, that's my topic 1. Okay, today we're going to go into a little bit more of a deeper topic. So Monday's not as hard because it's just like bony landmarks, muscles. I already know a lot of that sort of stuff. But basically, Tuesday's topic of education is going to be a lot more complex. So today is going to be the pathways which cause muscle hypertrophy. So against your stuff like mTOR, which then spikes muscle protein synthesis, which then causes you to grow muscle. I know, and it gets a whole lot more fucking complicated than that, but got myself a nice little house mix up there, laptop ready to go, caffeine in me, you know the drill. Again, I finished university last year, and it baffles me how I actually don't know a lot of this stuff when I've been charged like 50 grand. Just saying, when I can actually learn it myself. But I'm not saying I regret going to university, because university, I think, definitely got me out like a bubble and made me realise what I want to do. But what I want to do is sit in my office right now and learn some really, really neaky shit. So that's what I'm going to do. Brain is bloody frazzled, mate. Learning about mTOR C1. Yeah. I don't even think I can go into it. I just need a second just to eat my oats. You know what I mean? Oats and a little bit of granola on top. Delightful. But yeah, pretty simply, I'm gonna eat my oats. And we've got a nice little upper session. Gonna drive down to, there's a little cafe by North Leeds Ultraflex, which Ben usually gets his meal preps from, in which it's just a nice little workspace. And I figured out, like, I'm someone who, I enjoy doing my check-ins in my office in the morning, but after that, when I'm educating myself or doing programs or doing setups, for example, again, link in bio, shameful, mate, shameful. I quite like being in somewhere else, like a different environment. Like it's a kind of a good way to dissociate and make my work a little bit more fun, make my work a little bit more attractive. You know what I mean? So we're both gonna go because he's just got back. Both gonna go sit in this cafe, do a little bit of work. Then we've got upper. Yo. Upper session done. There's a little bit of Monopoly Deal. If you never played Monopoly Deal, it's a fucking sick game. Better than any card game I've ever played before. But upper session was mint. Hit a PR of 5.5 plates on the T-bar, which I've never touched before in my life, okay? And then on that high incline for the Nautilus press, hit a good old 4 plates. Feeling strong, feeling big as well. Feeling a bit fat, I ain't gonna lie, but I'm only about 5'8", okay? And realistically, I'm 91 kilos now, so we're getting to the heavier kind of part of the bulk. So definition is going to go, but I can still vacuum, so we can hide that kind of midsection fat. But yeah, feeling good, looking meh, a bit like a bottle of milk, okay? But game's a game in this sport, you know what I mean? There'll be a time where I look fucking peeled, okay? And that will be in like 2026 sometime. Well, I'm pre-prepping this summer, so again, pre-prep will be soon. The series for that will be fucking sick, okay? And we're going to be looking actually a little bit better than we are now. You might actually see some like abs and shit like that. Some lines on my legs. To be fair, I'm holding like a little bit of kind of conditioning on the outside of my right quadricep. Like, it's like weirdly like striated, which is weird. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there, people. Wherever you are, whatever time you listen to this, have yourself a wonderful day. Set the tone for the fucking day. Find a win somewhere in your day. Okay. Like, subscribe, comment. Football Sports, code Drew. You know the drill. See you next video. Peace.